loss. We're still in to what is a prolonged first over. And here's Sher again, hopefully to complete his innings this time, but he's got his length wrong again, and that is clubbed. So 4 wides, 2 boundaries, and the final over is ultimately finished, 12 without loss for Helsinki.
They will take the start, having been put into bat. That should settle the cramps in the tummy early on. They definitely know the importance of the start, the Helsinki Titans. They've been off to flyers in the past. These two batsmen, Saif and Abbas Butt, have gotten them off to great starts. Saif, though, in the previous game was dropped early on. He went on to remain not out. So they would look to capitalize these first 6 overs, and in the first over, Abbas Butt was right on point. It's going to be, looks like Raz Mohammed coming in from the other end.
Yeah, coming down the hill here at Keravat, from the end that is variously called the Tower end, the Swedish car manufacturer end, many options.
Golf course end.
Golf course end. But he'll be bowling to the left-hander now, Raymond, who's yet to face a delivery. Here is Raz Mohammed.
Oh, yes, Razi!
Pushed forward carefully and watched by the tall left-hander. Well built.
The one thing really good about Saif is he knows exactly the balls to leave, defend and punish the bad balls.
Here's Mohammed off that skipping run, slightly short and wide outside the off stump, fumbled by the keeper, Skamans. But again, makes there. That might be the line and length again. They're looking.
Top areas there, buddy.
Here's Mohammed full onto the toes and defended. No run.
Here we go, Gonzo, buddy.
So opposite to Amjad, Raz has seemed to have hit his line from the start, from the get-go.
Yeah, and to the left-hander as well, which is interesting. This one is just pushed into the onside for no run. Teams for you today. Empire lining up with Mahesh Tambe, Raz Mohammed, Mohammed Abul Hasnat, Mohammed Imran, Vishal Verma, Amjad Sher, Vanraj Padal, Jonathan Skamans, who's captain and keeper. Back to that in a minute as Mohammed comes in. Again, full delivery, turned into the onside, no run. Pete Gallagher, O'Brien, Nathan Collins. And Ezatullah Maya. Pinky lining up with Khalid Rahman Mangal. Continue that for you in a second.
Oh.
This one driven to short extra cover. No run. And a decent first over, that one from Raz Mohammed. A maiden, which is exactly what they'll be after. So Helsinki after 2 overs. 12 without loss. Just to finish that Helsinki Titans lineup for you. Hamad Shinwari, Adnan Saeed, Saifur Rahman, Aniketh Pushtai, Abdullah Qureshi and Bilal Masood. And Akash, that was a tale of two opening overs.
Absolutely. I was just thinking that somehow Raz Mohammed has managed to pull one back for the Lions, and straight away Skamans, the skipper, deciding to pull Amjad Sher off and bring in Imran Mohammed, more popularly called as Money. Got some stick in the previous game, but also got a wicket, the crucial wicket of Abbas Butt, if I'm not mistaken, if memory serves me right. So he would be looking to repeat that, hopefully without being as expensive.
Jordan, strider.
Yeah, interesting to know whether that was a planned change or whether it was because of the 4 wides that Sher conceded in that first over. As we watch Rani Mohammed come in. That's wide outside off stump and cut into the offside, but straight to the field at Padal, no run.
Just to finish off that story, I think it was Amjad Sher who took a lovely running catch at mid-wicket to get rid of Abbas Butt off the bowling of Mohammad Imran the previous game. So they've got the same combination going again with Sher.
Well, Mohammad Imran has dropped short on this one. This is clubbed up to deep mid-wicket, but it sails over the head of the fielder, and that has gone for 6. So he's dealing in boundaries for 4 and a 6.
Yeah, that's his favourite hitting area, no doubt about it. He knew that there is a man right up there on the boundary line, Amjad Sher, very safe. He backed himself to clear that, and he managed to clear it by meters.
Well, that's the problem if you drop short and straight.
Yeah, he did take full advantage of a relatively shorter length ball.
A little long hop, really.
Long hop, fair enough.
Comes in again. This one is a slower delivery, which is clubbed into the onside, but it bounced to Sher out on that boundary, who sends the throw in, which is fumbled by the bowler, but it's only a single, so it takes Butt off strike, and the field and Mohammed's radar will have to change now for the left-hander. We have the 2 men out in this power play at the moment. We have Raz Mohammed in front of us at long on, and Padal, I think it is, at deep mid-wicket. Those are the only 2 men out of the circle in this power play with the fielding restrictions in place. And Mohammed is going to go around the wicket. Today, predominantly a swing bowler, much slower and looped up and wide.
One thing which you would notice straight off the bat is both Raz Mohammed and Mohammad Imran have kept the ball just outside the off stump for Saif. They're not trying to give him any room to swing his arms with. This one being a wide. Yeah,
it's a deliberate ploy, but it's fraught with danger. As this one is edged, really. He's driving into the offside, but it's a bit of an edge, and it loops over the short third man. To the total, 22 without loss.
Absolutely. While these two seem to be hitting the able to clear the park with ease, they haven't seemed to be the quickest runners between the wickets. I've never seen them take a quick single. But the other argument could be is they don't need to.
Here's Mohammad Imran, and his big swing at that one. Appeal for caught behind. Or is it appeal for a stumping, perhaps? Looking to the square leg umpire, so perhaps it was for a stumping.
Yeah, Skaiman standing up as a deliberate ploy to the relatively faster bowler, and being able to whip those bails off. Even if he doesn't get a wicket, at least it plays on the mind of the batsman to watch that back foot and maybe limit a bit of Saif's already large reach.
Here's Mohammed then, and this one is driven over the head of point and a race away. That one should do for 4. This wide of off-stump ploy is just leaking a few early boundaries, but one would expect that in the power play, of course.
Yeah, he timed that to perfection. He knew the field was in. There was nobody out there. The ball was there for the taking, and he just takes a aerial route and crashes into the boundary. Saif Rahman.
We have an issue with the scoring, unfortunately, so I can't give you an updated score at the end of that over. We say 26, we reckon, is the revised score. So that was an expensive over. 14 going from it, so we've had 12 off the first over, and then a maiden, and then 14 off the third. So it's all or bust at the moment.
Yeah, it's all happening here at the Caravan National Cricket Ground. Raz Mohammed, he's back in to his second over. He'll be looking for a replay of his previous over, but he bowled that to the left-hander. Will be interesting to see how he matches up against Abbas Butt, the big hitting Abbas Butt.
Yeah, he got some tap earlier in the week, going quite straight on a few occasions, and you stray into that straight hitting zone. you're asking for trouble. So his line will be crucial here. A maiden in the first over. Here he comes again. The delivery looks to be wider of off stump. This is spooned really into the offside, and they'll pick up a gentle 2. There's a misfield on the boundary. Quicker running might have got them 3 there, but I don't think these two perhaps are renowned between the wickets.
And put through a quick single. But Abbas Butt this time driving that. I've seen him hit a few crunch cover drives in the previous games. This time somehow not getting a hold of it.
Using again that slight loop to his run up. This one is in the slot, and it's helped on its way over the onside to, and that's exactly the kind of ball that we were mentioning in the slot, and fairly straight. That's going to disappear.
He's always looking for that Abbas Butt with his big bat swing. He seems to be connecting it with ease and clearing it very comfortably.
Yeah, it stays hit, doesn't it, when it's hit? 34 without loss.
Another
That
one.
one's shorter, and that's just helped on its way over extra cover. It's extraordinary. That's just timing, really. Bottom hand.
This is what I was referring to in the last ball. I've seen him do that over the offside a few times. But 2 men out on the boundary on the onside. But nobody out there on the cover. He goes for it, and that bat that he's using, so hearing Bond right.
It's the length there that's the key for Mohammed that we've mentioned. Just anything in that slot that allows a free swing of the arms through the line. If you open the face like that and get bottom hand involved, it could go anywhere, but you've just got to pick up on your length a little bit more, I think, here. As he's in again. That one is full, and again it's a big swing, and it beats the man. He's up in the circle at short third man, and races away for another boundary. So again, I would say, in terms of length, that probably isn't the place to bowl.
Well, it's really hard to bowl to a man like Abbas Butt in the kind of form that he is in. The purple patch of his life, probably. So got a feel for the bowlers. Raz trying his best. Fortunately, going for a few.
Gone for 16 after a maiden in his first over. Raz Mohammed taking full advantage, as they need to, of the power play. Helsinki here, 42 without loss. That is full, and again the result is going to be the same. I think it is. Dribbling away over the boundary now, past the diving Nathan Collins, and it's 4 more. So this is an extraordinarily expensive over now. 20 have come from it, and we still have 1 delivery left.
Yeah, Abbas Butt racing off to 30, 35 or 14 deliveries.
Strike rate of exactly 250, I can tell you. I didn't work that out in my head.
I thought you were
not a maths genius, no. This one, looking for... The ball outside the off stump, and this one really through to the offside, but it went straight to the point, and it's Vishal Verma there, I think, who took the catch.
Vishal.
And it was a good catch, because he uses the stroke as he comes off, so expensive over, but it's resulting.
Big wicket, not just a wicket. Vishal Verma, the fielder at point, they brought him in for this game. Very safe pair of hands, judged it to perfection, completed the catch. His heart might have been in his mouth, I tell you that much, but somehow he managed to hold on to it, completed the catch, and the celebration from the Lion side evident about the importance of this wicket. 46 for 1 after 4 overs. Very interestingly poised this game. Flying. So Raz Mohammed there, the wicket taker, going for, what, 20 runs in the previous over, but managing the crucial wicket.
Yeah, that's the breakthrough they were after. It took them a while to get there, but they were persistent, if nothing else. And finally it paid off to point. So it's all or nothing at the moment, isn't it? Raz Mohammed starts with the maiden, and his next over goes for 20 runs, but he picks up the all-important wicket of Abbas Butt, who's gone for 35. And that brings Aniket Pushto to the crease now. He won't be on strike. Oh, he will be on strike. No, he won't be on strike, I beg your pardon. Left-hander Raymond. So it'll be Sher coming back, interestingly, after that first over where he went for 4 consecutive wides, was taken off. They brought Imran Mohammed on. Now Sher has come back to the left-hander. So this, again, might be a deliberate ploy, or just perhaps thinking on the hoof, as it were. Matchups they talk about these days, don't they, in the T20 game? Bowlers for batters, horses for courses. As Sher is in, big swing, doesn't time it, and Sher fields in his follow-through, no run.
Almost feel the pace of the game changes after Abbas Butt's dismissal. A lot quieter all of a sudden, the Titans team, and the Lions being a little more noisier.
Understandable, of course. Sher runs away from us. And a front foot defensive shot, really, which sounded as if there were 2 noises. Half-hearted appeal there for LBW, but it's clearly bat involved. But it was a tentative prod forward. That's how he tends to play in a way. He's often just to let the ball go, or to play a defensive shot in the knowledge that he might unleash as the field changes. We've now got a long on and a deep mid-wicket. Pete Gallagher, the man who's fielding us now, in front of us. Sher comes into Raymond. A big drive at that one. Goes through. It looked like it moved after passing the batsman as well. In swing. Skamans took it way to his right.
Yeah, they would like to see a repeat of that for sure. Next time, hopefully, they would be hoping it kisses the edge. This one somehow missing the edge. But Sher seems to be hitting the right spots in his second spell.
Well, he's had enough sighters. So if you're not getting it right now, he's in again to Raymond. He just comes forward and defends. No run. Sher picks up in his follow-through. 46 for 1. Helsinki, having been put in, to remind you, by Empire earlier on.
Saif Rahman is a kind of batsman who will not let a loose ball go by, but he respects the good balls, because his objective is to bat through the innings. That's the impression that I've taken away after seeing him play in this league in the last few games.
Yeah, the anchor plays that anchor role very well indeed. This one is driven beautifully, actually, uppishly over the infield. It's going to run away
to perfection. Ball and inside out over the covers. 4 runs, crashing into that boundary. Do about it. Exxon in the first 6 overs.
Now he's tall, which allows him to hit on the up, and that was the perfect example of it. The ball hadn't quite reached its peak, as it were, after pitching, but he drove uppishly, deliberately over that infield. This one is shorter, a nibble, and almost a nibble through to Skamans, but that over ends. 50. So Sher's over, apart from that solitary boundary, was pretty good all round. 50 for 1 after 5. Even I can work out that's going at 10 and over.
Remember that it was when Abbas Butt would have the luxury of an Abbas Butt. So it would be very interesting to see the proceedings from here on in. Up.
Amjad, go mid-wicket.
Yeah, we look like we've got another bowling change. Looks to me like going to come in from that far end for his first over, and then just the 10 runs, 15 deliveries, the man out for 35. Razma. So we have what, the 4th bowler being used already by by Empire in the 6th over, as this one is edged and would have till second slip. This being T-touch fielder, and it races the way to the...
To also say that the fielder at short third, Nathan Collins. For
Yeah, it's a good position. Collins, you rarely see, is carrying a groin struggle quite considerably. Normally, terrific field or in the infield, but his movement's somewhat limited as Tambe comes in. This is over of what would be mid-off. Diving the fielder, that's Jordan O'Brien, and they pick up 2 runs.
Aniket Pushtai throwing his bat at almost everything, trying to keep run rate. They know that the Lions bat deep, big hitters themselves.
That's wide of off stump, left alone.
What is interesting to note is after that first ball, they brought Collins now into a regulation first slip position.
A bit late comes this over, but it might well do the trick. It's a good position, I think. Been second or third generally. This one is short and guided down to up after this single. 58 for 1. Into the 6th over here at Kerava. Still a nice warm afternoon. There's still plenty of cloud around, although the sun is pretty strong this afternoon. It's going to hit 28 here in Finland, which is something of a record for the end of August, I think. I think probably next week we'll be back to type as Tambe comes in around the wicket to the left-hander, who drives straight over mid-off. Is it going to get cut off? I think it is. And they just take a single. Gallagher doing the fielding out there.
He didn't seem to time that as well as he would have liked, Saif Rahman. And giving Peter Gallagher the chance there to cut it off from the boundary and only a single.
No, he didn't time it because he had a long way to run. And it held up in the grass out there, going slightly up the hill as Tambe reverts to over the wicket. Pushtai waits on that, carves it out into the offside where O'Brien fields, and it'll just be another single. So a good over this so far from Tambe. Apart from that rather unlucky 4 he conceded off the first delivery, which perhaps was slightly fortunate from the batting side's point of view. The game decides now he's going to stand up to Tambe. Helmet goes, he keeps that slip in place.
He's a very miserly bowler, Tambe, a crucial part of the national side. In-swing bowler.
That is just dabbed to gully, and they take a quick single. That last ball really was a kind of stock trademark Tambe ball, just back of a length and rising on the batsman, but it was well played and he managed to keep it down. End of the over then. 6 have gone, and the score after 6, 61 for 1, but the man out for 35. So we're still going at 10 and over.
10 and over it is. Aniket Pushtai trying to keep the scoreboard moving along. Very keen watch on what Saif Rahman does from here on. It's 6. The power plays are up. Will he just rotate the singles and punish the bad balls and let the batsman at the other end carry the weight of his side?
Yeah, fielder spread, of course. Fielding restrictions are over, so the left-hander's got a deep mid-wicket, a long on, long off, and a cover boundary rider. And it'll be Mohamed Imran Mani to go around the wicket to the left-handed Saif Rahman. Slight delay. He's underway. Very slow, loopy delivery. Given a wide. A few of those have gone that way in this little spell from Mohamed. He's very conscious of looping it up, side off stump. But seems to be floating rather than swinging through the air. Single picked up. Does swing the ball when he wants to. Mohamedin ran quite prodigiously at times. I get the feeling that's floaty a little bit. It's not perhaps getting through the action to let it swing. That one does bamboozle the batsman a little bit, who, looking to drive straight, ends up getting an inside edge into the onside for a single.
Fortunate there, a bit fortunate there, Pushtai, because it could have so easily have kissed the inside edge and going onto the stumps. No. He's a kind of bowler, Mohammad Imran, from whom you cannot take your eyes off for even a second. Got to watch it carefully.
Yeah. For Helsinki are totting up.
By my estimate, has it been already been 8 wides this innings?
And we're only in the 7th. Crucial, of course, extras there can be in the final reckoning. This one is driven, and there's a diving attempted stop at backward point, and it's not made the boundary. Good work there by O'Brien, who's gone a long way. There could be trouble here, but he's got to run.